Hey everybody, it's Cheryl. Welcome back to Technique of the Week. It's week 48, and this week we're going to be talking about bubble painting. So what I do for a lot of my techniques is I look online for techniques that you can do with kids or projects that you can do with regular paint and see if they can be applied to how you can work with paint on fabric. And I saw this as an idea, and what you do is you take regular your craft paint, or in this case fabric paint, you add a little bit of dish soap to the paint and you put it in a small dish, and then you take a straw and you blow and create all these bubbles in the dish, and then you quickly turn a piece of paper over the top and it creates these really cool bubbles. Well, I tried this on fabric and I was so excited because I thought, well, there's no way that this could not work, that this could not fail. And oh my gosh, it totally failed. So let me just show you a little bit of what I did. So I got some green and yellow and other colors and had created this huge mound of bubbles. This is a really messy technique. You want plastic all over your surface and all over yourself, because what I found is when you're blowing bubbles and the bubbles are popping, they're splashing everywhere. And I had this all over my face because of course you're using the straw to get close to the bubbles so that you can make this giant mound of bubbles. But when I actually turned my fabric over, all the bubbles would pop, but they wouldn't make the design that, you could make on paper. And part of it was that paper's very porous and I needed a more porous surface. Initially, I had just regular fabric, not stiffened, and then I did iron some to some freezer paper just to give it a little body and hoped that it would absorb the bubbles a little bit more. Nope, that totally failed as well. And then what I ended up using, so I had to change the tactic altogether because flipping it over on top of the bubbles, not working at all. And all I would end up getting was the rim. You can see the rim of the bowl. That was not really working. So I took a piece of paper that you're supposed to put through your inkjet printer so that you can iron it onto like a bag or a t-shirt or something. So this is, pre-backed. It's sort of like a canvas feel. And so what I did, instead of blowing the bubbles and turning the bowl over, I would pick up a little bit of the liquid in the end of the straw, and I would blow the bubble and the end of the straw and then place that onto this fabric. Well, so that was a little more successful, and I did get some splashes, and it, again, very messy. Be sure not to inhale because you will then suck up all the soapy paint into you, and you don't want that. And let me tell you, this stuff, wear an old t-shirt, wear an apron, is gonna get all over. So this was the design that I ended up with, and I did cut this out, of this piece here. That was as big of a piece as I got before I gave up. And so these were my little bubble paint guy, and quickly cut him out, put him onto a nice background and quilted him. And so while sometimes they're not successful, I had a little bit of a, fun, I guess, blowing bubbles, playing around with this one. Anyway, maybe your project will be much more successful than mine, but you can always do this technique with paper and then apply the paper to the surface of the quilt. So that is a way that you can salvage it. Anyway, be sure to follow along on my blog at www.muffin.com. You can also subscribe to this channel and get a copy of the videos in your newsfeed every single week. And you can also go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, and you can get the 52 Technique of the Week checklist in return for signing up, and you will be able to follow along right along with us. and we're getting down to the end, so be sure to follow along, and I'll see you again next week.